Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.
Welcome to True Crime to Go. What can I get for you?
Yeah, I'd like to get the VHS for Never Been Kissed starring Drew Barrymore, please. Wait, is this not a Blockbuster? Dang it.
Pull up to the second window and we'll see you next crime.
Welcome to True Crime to Go. I am John, here with Jamie, and I'm not Josie Grossi anymore.
Yes, I'm glad you caught the reference there. I think we lost half our listeners with VHS and Blockbuster. So
yeah,
that's where we're at.
Gosh, what I wouldn't do to go back.
Just
I was going to say 10 years ago, but even that wouldn't do it.
No, it's
30 years ago.
Yeah, it's 20 plus for sure, but this story is very in line with the storyline of Never Been Kissed, starring Drew Barrymore.
That's a great movie, and I have some time after we record. I don't know if you want to stick around or not, but I may throw that on.
I don't know. It's going to be a good time, just me and you watching that movie. Maybe bring our kids into the mix. Maybe, I don't know. I bet my daughter would love it, actually.
Well, send her on over. My son's here.
She's working at the drive-thru. You just heard her, so I don't know if she's available.
If she gets off in time. So we have a case. Jamie, why don't you get the ball rolling?
Yeah, this year, man. Earlier this spring, April 13th, 2026, a woman walked into Westchester Square Academy in the Throgs Neck neighborhood of the Bronx, which sounds made up. She went to the front desk and she wanted to register as a new student, saying she was 16 years old and her name was Shamara Rashad. She said that she had just moved to New York from Ohio with her sister. She was enrolled, and then she got her class schedule and made her way to class. For the next 14 days, this young woman, real name Kacy Claassen, not the former Tennessee quarterback, who is 28 years old. 28-year-old Kacy Claassen says she's 16-year-old Shamara Rashad and attended high school for 2 weeks.
You knew me when I was 28. Do you think I could have passed for 16? Before you answer that, let me just go on.
Yeah.
Now, we want to be clear up front about something. This is not a case of predatory behavior.
That we know of.
Yeah, there's no evidence, at least, that she posed as a student to harm anyone. But the alleged motive seems to be that she was trying to commit public assistance fraud. So the scheme, such as it was, appears to have been aimed at a government benefits office, not at the students at this academy. The children who went to the school with Kacy for 2 weeks were not in any reported danger. Now, the principal did enroll this student. The McKinney-Ventro Homeless Assistance Act, among other laws, protects the rights of students to immediate enrollment regardless of documentation. So a school cannot demand a birth certificate before letting a child enter and enroll in school. So he enrolled her. He is not the villain of this story. If anything, he was the one who eventually helped solve it, but his hands were really tied. And I don't think that she definitely came off as a much older person. So she sat in classrooms. She was around teenagers, actual 16-year-olds, classmates of hers. They would later be interviewed by journalists and they would have a lot to say, but did they notice anything was off? Did classmates have concerns? Jamie, what do you know?
Yeah, she did say that she made them feel somewhat uncomfortable. And if you think about it, if you expect somebody to relate to you as a peer and they're almost twice your age, the things that they say aren't going to, I guess, Gen Z words, they're not going to vibe with what you're putting down either. So I think it was just awkward. And they may not have known why it was awkward, but it did go on for 2 weeks before they solved it. Now, what was the plan? The alleged purpose of this scheme, according to Claassen's own statement after she was arrested, was to help a friend obtain more public assistance. Specifically, a friend allegedly pressured Claassen into deception so that the friend could receive more government benefits. Now, the logic of this is obviously iffy here, because as far as we know, there was no actual documentation filed to try to receive said assistance. So it is, it's not clear what particular program she was trying to exploit. I'm sure she threw her friend under the bus. Those details aren't available, but we don't know exactly where she was getting the money from or how being a high school student was going to help her get it.
At some point during her tenure there at the academy, the principal did become suspicious, and he did what any principal would do in the year 2026, and that is he opened up Facebook, and he found Kacy Claassen's Facebook page, her real page under her real name with the real date of birth, and most importantly, a photograph of her. And this matched the face of this girl who said she was 16 years old from Ohio. So he did what I think I would do, and he pulled out his phone and showed it to her and confronted her about it. And even though she's looking at her own Facebook profile with definitely a picture of her, she did what any congressman in the United States would do, in that you deny. Did
I actually put that in the script, or is that an ad lib, John?
That's me going off script.
I like it. I like it a lot. The New York City Department of Education issued a statement. They said enrollment fraud is a serious crime that fundamentally undermines New York City public schools' values. The New York Police Department is actively investigating these allegations and will pursue all appropriate legal actions against those responsible. We are providing all necessary and suitable support to the school community. Now, of course, they're trying to, in some ways, cover their butt. They're letting people know that nobody was physically or traumatically harmed, which I do think is important here. Obviously, the official charges haven't been put out. We don't know exactly what type of prison sentence she is facing. She does have a court date for June 15th, which is after we record this and before it airs. So if we get new information after that, we'll update this episode. But we may find out more about the future of this case. It's probably just an informal hearing to kind of set future dates. But if there's more information that comes around, we will let you know.
Yeah, I can speculate on why she would want the government assistance. I mean, if you're claiming to be a 16-year-old homeless person, then there are government programs out there that are going to assist you. There's Medicaid, there's the SNAP nutrition program that will give you vouchers or basically a debit card for buying food. There's housing opportunities available. So really at that age and homeless, there are so many government programs that you could take advantage of. Was she just trying to milk the system? It almost seems like that's the case.
It does.
I don't know.
It does. And maybe that was it. And hopefully we'll find out. But this was, honestly, it took me back to some of those 90s movies. Also, it's reported that Tom Holland, when he was preparing to play Spider-Man, enrolled in a school in the Bronx as an American high school student for a little bit. So maybe. How
could Tom Holland do that without people knowing that he's Tom Holland? Or did they know he was Tom Holland?
No, he wasn't Spider-Man yet. That was his first big role. Nobody knew who he was.
Oh, so you're saying before all that,
yeah,
he did it. He could not get away with that now.
He wanted to learn what American high school was like. So
because he's not an American. He is from England.
But he is Spider-Man.
You know, maybe we'll talk about it on Bless Their Hearts later this week, but all the folks from England that are over here for the World Cup are just falling in love with America. So, Joe, if you're out there listening to this, I want to know, did you fall in love with America while you were here?
Can't wait to see you come back. I didn't mean for that to sound as creepy as it did.
Yep, that's all right. Guys, we appreciate you. We love you.
This has been a crime story in 10 minutes or less.
Would you like crime with that?
You've listened to True Crimecast, distributed by Stoveleg Media. Check out stoveleg.com to find out more about your hosts and to find other podcasts to listen to. Stoveleg Media, igniting conversation.